no sax on. The first time Allah took me to your club, I wouldn't even talk about it. 148 West 133rd Street. That's what I'm gonna tell you guys, because some things you just have to be there and experience it for yourself. Okay? I'm gonna mention wisdom built to destroy again, because when I think about Allah B, I think about how wisdom builds or destroys, because it is said that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And to me that's symbolic, because Word is bond, and bond is life. So there is no beginning, no ending. It's just the cycle of life. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Allah B was a person that renewed his history so many times. He constantly adapted, not just to the times, but to all the W's, the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and even sometimes the how. He adjusted. He made changes. The last time I spoke to him was the knowledge and understanding day, and although his body was not there with him, his mind was lucid and the same person I met when I first met him. No question about it. He didn't complain about pain. He didn't complain about anything. He dealt with life on life terms. That's a wise man who knows how to build. So moving right along, I'm just introduce his grandson, Quabless Scott, who is the son of his firstborn son. They like to call him Littleborn, but he was bigger than me. Some affectionately called him, some people knew him as the commander. He was a sweetheart, but when it came to business, he had the same authority in his voice as his father, decisiveness, steadfast, and a myriad of different virtues that, you know, make that lineage what it is. Quabless, unique, it's on you. They're gonna read the obituary. Good afternoon. Can everybody hear me? What about now? Everybody can hear me? Yeah. All right. Good afternoon again. Thank you everybody for coming out here, being here for my grandfather. I'm gonna try to get through this one take, so just bear with me. One of the things my grandfather taught us, he always instilled in us, he always called us the greatest. We always made sure we remember we was the greatest, we could do whatever we want. And he was always present. One thing about my grandfather, he was present. No matter how busy he was, no matter how much time he spent away from the family, he made sure he made up for it tenfold. He was always present, he was always in our lives. And he, you know, kept everybody together. And every event, every function, he was there, believe me.
The life of the party.
Alright, so we're gonna try to get through this, okay? Allah B was born Ralph Taylor, September 4th, 1948, to mother Mabel Waddell and father Jerome Taylor. He was one of 6 brothers and 2 sisters. Nathaniel Robert Waddell and the Taylor children, Aldine, Joyce, Tyrone, Douglas, Harold, and Bobby. Jerome Taylor subsequently remarried and added 3 additional sisters to the family, Lorraine, Inez, and Dr. Barbara Brooks. In the early years, the family lived on West 146th Street between 7th and 8th Avenue in Harlem. The Taylor boys had a reputation for mischief, and a
Bobby, nicknamed Cody at the time, was the chief mischief maker. He attended PS 90 until the 4th grade, after which his troublemaking landed him in the 600 school, PS 6112. However, when he was 16 years old, he had an encounter with a man, Allah, Clarence 13 Smith, who changed his life. He became one of Allah's 5 percenters. He chose the name Hakeem and soon thereafter changed it to Born Allah. And he dedicated himself to teaching righteousness, the knowledge of self, and the black man being God in his neighborhood. In 2 years, in 1966, he was among the original founding cohort of youth attending Harlem Prep for college-bound students and was co-chair of the political action committee, HARU, sponsored by the U.S. Congress to increase opportunities for education and employment in Harlem. In 1969, his earth, Lamina Judy Scott, gave birth to his first child, son Little Born Allah. In 1971, Born Allah founded the nation's education show improvement. However, also in 1971, at the time his second earth, Takesha, was 2 months pregnant with their daughter, born Takesha, that he was arrested and incarcerated
for an incident in the Bronx. He spent the next 27 years in New York State prisons, but those years in prisons did not stop him from teaching and inspiring other black youth, both in prison and out in society. He also used this time to go back to school to continue his education. He obtained his GED and continued on to attain several Bachelor's of Arts degrees in college. Before his release, he remarried his third earth, refined, and changed his name to Allah B. He emerged triumphantly from prison in 1998. He had paid more than his debt to society from those early mischievous and turbulent years. A great man had now arisen and sprung forth as a citizen, a youth educator, and a great collaborator and builder. He was greeted warmly back in NYC by his family and the 5% nation of gods and earths. He and Rafan lived together with his son Kahim in Queens Village. This period helped him with his transition back into society. He spent the next 24 years of his life in free society and had countless accomplishments. He led a program at Allah School teaching children computer skills. He was interviewed by countless media outlets and formed close relationships with many of the notables in hip-hop community. He worked on a committee that researched and developed a plan to rebuild the Allah School in MECCA site. And in 2012, in union with his fourth earth, True Essence, his final child, daughter Allah Janae, born Essence Smith, also known as Lala, was born. In his recent years, he battled several illnesses, but he continued to dedicate his life to his family and to the nation of God and earth until his last breath. In the early morning of Friday, July 15th, 2022, at 5:21 a.m., he returned to the essence of life. His journey was over, but he left a powerful imprint. He is survived by his daughter, La Janae, daughter-in-law, Poochie, Hope Scott, sisters Joyce and Dr. Barbara, brother Bobby, and sister-in-law Dolores. He is also survived by his grandchildren, Pabless, Unique, Josiah, Shakila, Shade, and his grandchildren, from his daughter Nadia and her husband Craig Reddick, Shaheem, Shanasia, Aniba, Kifa, Kina, and Anuket. He also has 2 children from his granddaughter Shade, Kinsley, and Keegan. He is left with his niece and special caregiver Natalie Williams, and a host of other nieces and nephews, and thousands of gods, earths, friends, and acquaintances that loved him. He will be missed. Allah be lives. Peace.
At this time, anybody else from the family, from Brother Bobby, Sister Joyce, Earth Takesha, or daughter Lala, who's actually on her way, that would like to come up, please do.
Peace. 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 Well, I still want to say that Allah be a brother that took his baby brother with me. You know, and I just want to thank all the nation of gods and earth for showing so much love to a man who knew how to love. You know, he definitely loved, and he loved people, he loved children, his family, and anybody who came in his conference. And he just was a brother who took care of, you know, little ones who wasn't there for, you know, to take care of themselves. Just like I had, I don't know if I should say I was Kurt, but I'm looking like him. I say that because when I was small, everybody, you know, they were scared of him. But they see me and say, oh, that's Cody's little brother. And they jump on me. Big guy, I mean, big grown men. And then I had to go get him. And he did what he had to do. Don't you ever touch my brother again. And that's how he was. Because he had that love for family where you couldn't mess with one another and not see him. You know? And I see it in every one of y'all that showed here and showed the love. And show your love, that you love and respect. And I thank every one of y'all. And peace.
Was my daughter. She's one of the first born Cipher, mathematics, and then one of my daughters since I was 14 years old.
Let's slow this down, y'all. Don't have respect.
I had known herself since I was 14, and then like the brother was saying about the pig, got a lot of babies from her mama. I raised you on the court, and you're gonna eat this pig. So we got witness. With born, I go back from build a nation. This is just slogans through the years. Build the nations, build the bill, and the babies are the greatest. And for the family, for his children, for his grandchildren, he have 2 great-grandchildren also. He always taught the babies. The babies are the greatest. And that's his legacy. He was a teacher, and then he had 2 great-grandchildren also. So it was just love. He had protection. We did trips, we did a lot of things together. And then his home was his castle, he was the king of his home. And when he did in the street, and it was hard pulling him away from the nation. But for the nation he lived and for the nation he died. You know what I'm saying? And then he loved the gods and earth. That was his life. That's his life, the nation of gods and earth and the babies. You know? And it's a reality check for me. One and I haven't been together for a minute. We just did so much pertaining to the family, like his family, the nation of gods and earth, true, like his family, his immediate family. Sisters, 14 years old, he dropped me off with Auntie Joyce. Auntie Joyce, like the family, his immediate family, so close-knit. His brothers took care of his son when one wasn't away. His sister, Auntie Joyce, dropped me off with Auntie Joyce. His daughters, and then like the nieces and nephews, he gave everybody righteous names. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a righteous name. And he was about the nation's business. And that's who Panama was. And we still call him on, understand a lot better. And then like he got a larger name, he can trace it down to her sister, born to Keisha. Born to Keisha returned to the Essence November 29th. And he was there in June last year. We did a trip to Panama. He was there, you know, and with the grandchildren is just so great. Like he said, the babies are the greatest, and those our children, they show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Our babies, they show and prove what he taught. You can see it in the young, and they have no fear. They speak what they speak, and they speak with authority. Do you understand? And that's what their granddaddy, his legacy is great. And you can look at his family and look at his children, and you can see the greatness. Do you understand? And then that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Talk the walk, you know? And a lot of people, the nation of God said, earth, you got all the documentation that you need, all type of committees. And I just, you know, when our separate ways, that's true and fine. I wanted to be married. A lot of people wasn't about that. Reality, I wanted to get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's speaking. It's choices. And I made my choice and it was well. It's just reality. Like born. He said, you know, like the teacher, like God taught him, and it is what it is. You know, you speak truth. You have to be transparent, and all that kind of shaking and jumping, she wasn't about that, you know? And I have a lot more I'd like to say.
Peace, everyone. My name is Josiah Davis. My grandfather. I love him so much. He always inspired me. He always was my hero. You know, touched my heart. Every time he get on the phone, he don't play around. When it needs to be done, it needs to be done. He always told me, if you're going to do it all the way, give it your all. And as I look in this room, I see all the beautiful faces and all the hearts that he touched. And I just want y'all to know, he touched mine too. Every way. Every day that I went to school, I always represented his legacy, you know. The way he touched my heart, I wanted to let everybody feel the love that he gave. So, you know, they do career days and stuff like that. To me, and he is always been my hero. So I show him what he made, the legacy that he left, everything. And they be like, boy, can you teach me more about Allah, who I am, who you are? He always showed me how great I am, how great others are. So when my mom passed away, he was right there next to me, letting me know that everything's gonna be okay. We never die. We only just multiply, like he said. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, it really is. this. In memory of my grandfather and my mother who passed away from cancer, I created this organization called Fight with the Fighters to help give hope and motivation to the cancer community by selling wristbands, by giving back to ones that we need to show love to. And it's not okay to feel like that no one's there for you. When you have people there for you, and I just want the world to know that as a unity, we can touch each other. And I want everyone to know from my heart to yours that I love all of y'all, and I thank y'all. The wristbands are $5. So if you want to get in contact with me, I'll be right here waiting for you. Peace.
Hold on a minute. So what was